Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming-related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. To get the formalities out of the way real quick, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below, or by sending me a Facebook and Twitter message. The first question for the day comes from Christopher, and it is, how would you feel about skins for operators in Rainbow Six Siege? Some cool designs and some silly ones. It looks like you're not the only one who likes the idea of adding skins into the game, because apparently Ubisoft sent out a survey recently where they were asking this very question. Would you like to see skins in the game, and would you spend money on them? The example they gave was what looked like Smoke, but instead of having his normal gas mask, he had kind of like this skull mask on. I wish I could find the picture. I looked and looked and looked, but I couldn't find the picture that someone sent it. But it looks like Ubisoft is considering adding these types of cosmetic items into Rainbow Six Siege. Now, if they do decide to do this, I would hope that they wouldn't go completely ridiculous. Like, I would hope that they would still retain some seriousness and keep a foot in reality, because while it could be cool to have some really funny cosmetic items or some cool skins on your operator that really wouldn't make sense in reality, I don't want to turn this into Team Fortress 2. As much as I love Team Fortress 2, it makes sense in that universe, in the game that they've created, for why they would have all these absurd hats on their character. I don't know if I necessarily want that in Rainbow Six Siege. If they have some cool variety on different skins for the operators, I'm fine with it. Like, I think that that would be okay, but I wouldn't want it to turn into everyone running around in a clown costume, because I feel like that would somewhat detract from the experience. One thing that I would hope that they would do with these microtransactions, though, and I'm assuming that they're gonna cost money. If they added on in, I would be very surprised if you could buy them with Renown. That would be very cool. I think that would be amazing, but I would guess that you'd have to put down like $5 to $10 for one of these operator skins. And so if they do want more of our money, I would hope that they would do something with that money. Maybe I'm just being selfish here, but I would like them to announce, hey, we're adding in these cosmetic items, but all of this money is gonna go towards the development of adding in more operators or bringing in more free maps. That would be incredible. This is the reason why I think a lot of people like Team Fortress 2's type of system, or even something like Counter-Strike Go, is that they continuously bring out more content for everyone relatively for free. I mean, there are a few exceptions here. There are the $5 DLCs for Counter-Strike, but in general, you are getting more content because they have this continuous revenue flow. And so if that is a direction that they're going to be taking for Rainbow Six Siege, and they want to make it more of a platform for developing more content, and they just want to be able to sustain the game into the future for a long period, I can't see that being a bad thing, as long as it is just purely cosmetic items, and they announce that if they do add in more of these skins, that it is going to be for the development and the funding of this future content. Like, I do think that that could be a really cool direction for the game. Of course, only time will tell. Maybe you guys will completely disagree with me, or maybe Ubisoft doesn't even have any intentions of adding in skins into Rainbow Six Siege. Maybe they just don't even intend of doing this to begin with, and that survey that player sent me was completely fabricated. As I mentioned, I couldn't find it, so take it with a grain of salt, but it will be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months. The next question is, Battlefield 5 will hopefully instill better teamwork. What do you think about giving more points when capturing objectives depending on how many squad mates are with you while doing so? For example, capturing a point on Conquest, you receive 300 points by yourself. But if a squad mate is helping you, you get 400 points. Or if 2 squad mates are helping, 500, and so on. This kind of point system will really make squads work together, in my opinion. I am right there with you that something needs to be done to get squads to work together a little bit more in the next Battlefield game, because right now, even though DICE claims that they're a team-oriented game, they have all these different aspects that really do enhance teamwork. And don't get me wrong, there is teamwork. You're gonna have to use RPGs to take out tanks. You're gonna have to use your different abilities to revive people. At least when it comes to squad cohesion, it's just not there. When you're running by yourself and you're with just a bunch of random players, 99% of the time, they're gonna go off and do their own thing. Maybe every once in a while, you'll get lucky where your entire squad is running from objective to objective and you got that team-based action going on. But for the most part, unless you're running with friends who can communicate when you're attacking different objectives, you never have have that type of teamwork going on. And so if they did add a point system that heavily rewarded you for either attacking and defending objectives when everyone is on that objective, that could be a really good way of getting squads to work together a little bit more. I know at the end of the day, point systems aren't going to be the end-all be-all, and it's not going to get everyone to do exactly what you want, but adding in that further layer of incentive might be the step in the right direction to get that squad cohesion. The only downside of the system that I can think of is that if all of the other squads are full and you're just by yourself, or you're only with like maybe 1 or 2 other people, no matter how hard you play the objective, no matter how many kills that you're going to be getting, if every other squad is actually taking the objectives together and they're working as a team, they're just going to simply get more points by the end of the round, and it's going to be very, very difficult for you to rise through the ranks and reach the top of the scoreboard. A lot of people like to have that visual representation that they're doing well and that they're contributing, and if you're kicking ass and you're taking names and you're playing the objective like it's your job, but simply because you're not in a full squad because every other one is full and they're all locked and you're not getting more points for it, or you're not getting as many points for doing the same action, that could be kind of a slap in the face or be really frustrating when you are really trying your best. And while the counter argument to this is like, who cares about the scoreboard? There are people that do. There really are people that do. Even I care about. I want to get up there. I want to be the #1 on my team. It is something about a competitive first-person shooter that people strive for, and so that is really the only negative quality that I could see from this system. It's a very weak argument, but it is an argument nonetheless. And so yeah, I'm right there with you. Hopefully DICE is taking all of these things into consideration. I'm really crossing my fingers that they add and incorporate more team-based actions, because that is one of the biggest drawbacks, at least with Battlefield 4, is that there just isn't a lot of incentive to work as a squad. The next question comes from Christopher, and it is, how would you feel about Thermite's charges melting through seal beams in the flooring? I feel that breaching hatches are now too predictable, and this would allow for the attackers to be even more creative in their breaching maneuvers. I also thought about this a while back, and I came to the conclusion that not only would it make Thermite too good, but it would also probably completely ruin the balance on maps. You have to remember that they meticulously balance the maps with these hatchment places, and if you're able to completely open up a different access route to jump on in where the objective was located, that might be too good. You guys might disagree with me, but I don't even want to claim that I am a map designer or if I have any idea, but you also have to remember that they did design every single one of these maps with the notion that you're not going to be able to open up a hole in the ceiling anywhere you want with these Thermite charges. Not only that, but Thermite himself is already one of the best operators on the offensive team. You cannot go wrong with picking this class at all. He's good on every single one of the maps, and if you then had the ability to open up holes in the ceiling, that would flat out make him overpowered. I really do think that that would make him too good. And so it's for those two reasons why I just don't see this happening. Maybe in the future they'll add in a brand new operator that has the ability to open up holes in the ceiling. Maybe they will disagree with me and think that that's not going to ruin the map balance on some of them, but I just don't see this happening in Rainbow Six Siege. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's Sunday Mailbox. I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below or by sending me a Facebook and Twitter message. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.